It's late on June 25th, 1984, in Western Germany. The kind of summer night that's warm but unsettled, heavy air, low clouds, the sense that a storm might break but never quite does. The streets are quiet, most lights are off. Windows glow dimly behind curtains. In a modest home, Günther Stoll sits with his wife. It's been a normal day and they're both winding down towards sleep. Suddenly, Günther stiffens. His expression becomes wide-eyed with focus, as if he'd been struck with a mind-altering epiphany. He says it out loud, almost to himself. "Now I've got it." His wife looks over at him. She noticed beads of sweat settling in the shallow wrinkles on his forehead. "What's that, my dear?" she asks. He grabs a pen and a piece of paper and writes a single word in block letters. Yogtze. The letters are deliberate, heavy, pressed into the page. Then he stops. He stares at the word for a long time, and violently crosses it out, frantically scribbling, as though even leaving the word visible is a mistake. Günther's wife looks concerned, but he doesn't explain. He doesn't answer any of her questions. He puts the pen down, grabs his keys, and walks out into the night. Outside, Wilnsdorf is still. Streetlights cast yellow pools on damp pavement. Somewhere in the distance, a car passes, then nothing. Günther's Volkswagen Golf pulls away and disappears down the road. He drives to a small pub on the outskirts of town, sometimes called Papillion. A familiar place, low ceiling, smoke in the air, a few regulars nursing late beers. He walks in and orders one. The bartender notices nothing strange. Günther doesn't slur his words. He isn't stumbling. He doesn't look drunk. And then, without warning, he collapses out of his bar stool. He crashes to the floor, his face striking the ground. The sound cuts through the room. Chairs scrape in unison and people rush over. After a moment, Günther comes around. He looks at all the faces staring down at him. He's lost, but soon regains his senses. Günther is helped to his feet, and ignoring the pleas of his fellow patrons, quickly leaves the pub, gets into his car and drives off into the night. At this point, little is known of Günther's whereabouts. There are hours unaccounted for, no sightings, no reliable timeline. He moves through the darkness like a ghost. Just after 1 a.m., he reappears in Heigerslebach, the village where he grew up. It's quieter here, narrow roads, older houses, the smell of trees and wet earth hanging in the air. He knocks on the door of a woman he's known since childhood. She's frightened at first. Standing behind the door, she asks who is it, trying to sound as tough as she can. When she realizes it's Günther, a look of confusion crosses her face. She hadn't seen Günther in a long time. The visit is wrong from the start. Günther appears agitated. His actions hold a sense of urgency. His words tumble out unevenly. He tells her that something awful is about to happen, that tonight, very soon, there will be a horrible accident. The woman is alarmed. She urges him to go to his parents. They're close. They'll understand. They can help. Günther shakes his head. He says they wouldn't understand. And once again he leaves, stepping back into the dark, unlit road. Again, hours pass without anybody sighting Günther. The sky remains overcast, the air grows colder, the roads glisten faintly under passing headlights. Then, around 3 a.m., on the A45 near the Hagensud exit, 2 truck drivers notice something off the shoulder. A car in a ditch, its lights still on, casting an eerie glow into the adjacent fields. They pull over and rush to the scene, and what they find makes no sense at all. Inside the wrecked Volkswagen Golf is Günther. He is severely injured, and he is completely naked. Not thrown from the car, not partially undressed, naked, but he's alive. He's conscious enough to speak. His voice is weak, but his words are clear enough to understand. He tells them he wasn't alone. He says 4 men were with him. 4 men who ran away. The truck drivers used their CB radio to call emergency services immediately. An ambulance arrives, sirens cut through the night, blue lights flash against the trees in the wet road. Günther is loaded inside, but he never reaches the hospital alive. By morning, the highway is quiet again. Traffic flows past the spot where his car lay overturned, unaware of what happened there hours earlier. Police are left with fragments, a crossed out word, a warning of a terrible event, hours of missing time, a naked dying man, and 4 men who seem to vanish into the night. At first, police think Günther had a psychotic episode, possibly stress-induced, possibly undiagnosed mental illness finally boiling over. In this version of events, the night is a slow unravelling. He leaves home in a heightened state, goes to the pub seeking grounding, collapses from stress or medical issue, then wanders, confused, frightened, disoriented. His nudity could be explained by extreme psychological distress or shock. The crash, a result of impaired judgment. The 4 men, a hallucination, a distorted memory, a mind trying to make sense of chaos. But there's a problem. People who interacted with Günther that night, his wife, the bartender, the woman in Heigersley, didn't describe someone detached from reality. They described someone urgent, focused, and afraid. This is where the story turns darker. Some investigators believe Günther's injuries didn't match a simple solo crash. They looked more like the result of being struck by another vehicle, possibly multiple times. In this story, Günther is hit somewhere else entirely. The driver panics. Maybe there are others involved. Maybe alcohol. Maybe something worse. They move his body. They place him back in his car. They stage the scene. The nudity could be an attempt to destroy evidence. Blood, fibres, contact traces. And the 4 men? Not hallucinations, but witnesses. People who fled. But staging an accident on a highway isn't easy. It requires time, coordination, and nerve. And no physical evidence ever surfaced to prove another vehicle's involved. Still, the injuries continue to raise eyebrows. This is the theory that refuses to go away, the most unsettling one. What if Günther's "now I've got it" wasn't confusion, but realization? What if Yogtze meant something, a code, a name, a place, a fragment of a larger truth he'd stumbled into? Maybe something involving illegal activity, organised crime, or a secret he overheard or uncovered. His behaviour that night suddenly looks different through this lens. The urgency, the warning of a terrible event, the refusal to go to his parents, that they wouldn't understand, the frantic movement from place to place, as if he didn't know where it was safe to stop. And finally, the words spoken while dying, "There were 4 men with me." The kind of detail someone gives when they're reporting something, not imagining it. But without evidence, this theory remains a shadow, compelling, terrifying, unprovable. And that's what makes the Yogtze case so unsettling. Not the crash, not even the word itself. It's the feeling that Günther realized something important and didn't have time to explain it. He wasn't running from nothing. He wasn't wandering aimlessly. Every stop that night feels purposeful, like he was trying to warn someone, or confirm something, or figure out where to go next. And then the night closed in on him. Whatever Yogtze meant, whether it was a code, a name, a misunderstanding, or something only he could connect, it died with him on that stretch of road. And decades later, all we're left with is a crossed out word on a piece of paper, and the sense that the answer was only moments away. If you have your own theory about what happened that night, I'd genuinely love to read about it. Drop it in the comments. And if you enjoy deep dive mysteries like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.